Since the 4th century, we've been enjoying wool in our clothing. The evolution of tools for working with wool continues as more tools, more sharing, and better innovation happens. The knowledge share within communities is demonstrated here as we see new products, well-insulated people, industrialisation of wool, and the knowledge thereafter. Crimson is one of the earlier colours that was deeply favoured in this field. The industrialisation of the products are shown in 1581 in Irish attire, crimson being a favourite, as shown here in the Galway Museum. The Brigid's cloak style was very popular in Europe. Indeed, she wore crimson herself. The evidence of the crimson is in the Bruges Museum today. Not all the mantle, but a fraction of the mantle preserved in the cathedral. 1740, Kildare women were sharing stitches and stories of kitchen tales and evolution from other cultures. Our influx of Huguenots influenced our own working style and the products that we produced. Our spinsters had a different kind of life. The Curragh attracts international artists with our light wool and sheep. The Curragh sheep. Curragh, one of the names for sheep in Irish. Rahian an Idra, the little ring fort of the air, may have been the name for the Curragh of Kildare. The Curragh has seen many changes to the landscape and occupants since the time of the Éanach on the Curragh, our horse-owning friends, as well as our sheep. Welcome back 2022 post-COVID. Listen and see our love of the lambs. Welcome to Anna Snell, a resident of the Curragh and Kildare, showing how she loves the animals, the livestock, and how she relishes being with the lambs herself. Her photographs shine through. The sheep on the Curragh are legendary. This is Percy Podger. Percy is from a long breed of people on the Curragh, taking care of nature on the land, justice on the land, seen here with Duncan Stewart, always on the go. I followed Percy's tracks on the Curragh as he minds the animals, the insects, and new breeds to the Curragh. Schwarzkopf, 100 years in existence, since 2017 on the land. Percy and pals brought the ploughing to the Curragh by themselves to showcase this new giant breed of sheep here in Kildare. Welcome to the Schwarzkopf. Percy's innovation includes the feedstock for his lambs and rams. Supersizing your crops with friends and sharing the insight here at the ploughing. This year, we left the Curragh and migrated down to the National World Ploughing Championship. We spent a week talking to people about all things Kildare, sheep, wool, and innovations about wool stock. Wool on the Curragh, wool in Kildare, and how we can help biodiversity in Ireland. Welcome to the ploughing. Every day a different story. These are some of our shearing friends, and here's one they've done earlier. A new dawn at the ploughing as Kildare featured in the news on Newstalk, sharing the story of Kildare sheep, new interest and new innovations.
It's the same the way it is, you know.
Last 2 years, like 20 cent kg.
A lot of farmers they don't even want to bring it to the co-op, so they
dump it. Like, I work in a co-op myself, and we take it in, and like the farmers are giving out like that. We can't give them more, but like we can't get after for it either.
It's a great product, like, you know. There's so many different uses you could have for it.
Yeah, like if they can find something else to do with it, they'll up the price of it and things. Like.
Do you wear wool?
I do, yeah. I should wear more of it.
Soon.
Yeah.
As we turn the corner in biodiversity, people are reverting to a heritage craft, a craft that's love, and here we have organic Kildare wool, dyed in hedgerow dyes, transformed to a product for sale in Cork, Vibes and Scribes, in all over Ireland. The wool is being transformed into delightful products for our skin, for ourselves, from the Galway fleece, a transformation of the wool with heritage skills as shown here by Buncrana Knits, the last cottage industry in Ireland, with new fans, Asian fans of yarn bombing, of our products, of peace, and all the skills that wool can actually issue to us. This wool is Percy's wool. With National College of Art and Design, the students are sharing and showcasing innovations and heritage products made by wool with all the shades that our Donegal friends can create with us, transforming traditional heritage looks to heritage-informed styles, wanted and transformed to delightful fashions today. New love of wool in design is taking a new spin, a modern spin, in Europe. London showcased the beautiful wool products that are snuggly, graceful, and highly desired. So what we're seeing is a re-evaluation, reimagination of wonderful quality, heritage-inspired goods. We love wool, and there's ways that we can create our love of wool, sharing it with the community in innovative ways. Inspired by Brigid, this year the goddess of wool informed our yarn bombing in Kildare. 300 of us, plus myself, decided to create Brigid's cloak. Yarn bombing is a feature of June every year in Newbridge as our fabulous crafters share their skills and pedigree looks in new, innovative and creative ways, sharing love of community, friendships, skills and new ways of creating messages and ways to work together in harmony on messages. Why to use wool, why to cut down on plastic, and why our sheep are a massive part of our future, of fashion, and of our biodiversity actions. Donegal Yarn Bomber shares with us the need for microplastic-less living and ways that we can highlight the plight of wool. Brigid, created here in Kildare by Kelly Lane, is one such beautiful product we can create with wool. Brigid of the Bog, our sacred lambs. Here's one way that we can reconsider our use of wool intelligently for insulation of ourselves, for insulation of those we love and those we want to protect, with organic wool, cradle to cradle, a biodegradable product.
And that's the 1870 Curragh Kildare Act, which was established following the 1868 Curragh Kildare Act, which is now obsolete, but it principally set up a commission of three parties, one of whom was a Mr. Mansfield, and their name is around the corner, or was about 20 or 30 years ago, maybe more, and they were assessing on behalf of the Crown because Irishmen, like my ancestry, were not allowed to own the land. So typically it was set up that the tenant, who were tenants who were my ancestry, Irish, were effectively awarded the right when they applied for it, but when it was granted, it was reversibly back to the landlord until such time as we done away with that. So that's largely the historic origins. There's a lot more to be said if you wish to understand it in much greater detail, but I don't think that extent is necessary right now. So the 1870 Curragh Kildare Act had attached to it what they called the award, or the schedule to it, the act, and therein it was assessed who applied for what and what was being granted, and that still stands today. farming on the Curragh in my family goes back at least 6 generations, and more like 7. There were several family members of Keegan's, and then there was Gavin's, and then there was my 2 generations of Gavin's, and then there was my grandfather, my namesake Podger, Percy Podger, who came from Channel Islands in Jersey as a headman, jockey or part-time. His principal thing was that he was head lad for somebody or other. I think it was a Mr. Rogers. So that's my grandfather, Podger, was working for Mr. Roger, whoever he was. And my grandmother married in, as they say. The rest is history. But it goes back to the Keegans were the ones, the original parties who were granted the grazing rights. There was 2 generations at least there. That's about it in terms of understanding how we're sheep farming on the Curragh.